everybody, good here with Meryl and August, and we need to go to the capital route. So they're about to fight, and then we're like, oh shit, Gregor, get the fuck over here! And then shit happens, as you can see from the last episode. So I don't fucking care, you still hit somebody. So this time, she's not going to be probably running off? I think. We're going to be seeing, Okay, so this part is actually different. Okay, so, wolf fight, go! New fledgling venture or no, I couldn't lie to myself. There was no way I could fight a wolf! The hard bark of a tree dug into my back, promising me one way out. I picked up a rock and threw it off to the side, hoping to distract the wolf for a split second. It worked. Immediately, I began to climb the tree with all my might. I could hear growls from below me. I glanced down. The wolf was trying to climb the tree after me, but kept falling off. Now listen here! I'm not bothering you! Please just leave me alone! I reached high enough branch to be able to make myself comfortable, preparing to wait out the wolf below me. It was growling and circling the tree, unable to climb up to where I was. Please just go away, Mr. Wolf! Or Mrs. Wolf, or whatever you are! Or Miss Wolf! Or gender-neutral wolf! Please! Leave any area for me not in the vicinity! It seemed that my attempts were futile. The wolf continued to circle the base of the tree, never taking its eyes off of me. Hey, wait a minute! The wolf's eyes were an odd shade of yellow and red? Is that normal? Just that moment, I heard a voice call out. Meryl! Meryl, where are you? It was August. I could see him from across the river. Although I've been trying to get away from him and Gregor earlier, I was happy to see him. I'm over here, August! I began to wave my arms about. That only prompted the wolf to begin its assault again, as it tried once again to climb the tree, snarling and growling. Is that a wolf? Meryl, stay where you are! I'll help you! Yeah, like I was planning on going anywhere. The next thing I knew, there was a whooshing sound and everything at the base of the tree broke into flames! I heard the wolf yelp in pain, and a few seconds later the fire disappeared. I looked down and saw August standing there. What was that? It was magic. I used it to scare the wolf off. Though it's odd to see a wolf attacking someone in a broad daylight. I swear I did not provoke it or anything. It just showed up. I believe you. Though I'm not sure how you ended up on this side of the river in the first place. Well, never mind. We need to get you to camp. Gregor wants to get back on the road. Shit. What? Nothing. Right. Back on the road. I was going home. Well, thank you for saving me and all. Oh, it was nothing. I'm just glad you weren't hurt. Yes. Well, I think... Actually, you know what? I quite like it up here in this tree. Huh? It's so nice up here. I don't think I want to come down. You can't be serious, Meryl. Oh, and look, there's even berries up here. Plucks one off. See? Delicious. I began to reach out for a nearby branch. But then... Why was I losing my balance? You can't be serious. Ah! I apparently had reached a little too far and now was falling out of a tree. Wow. Go me. Meryl! I braced myself for a rough landing. Sure enough, I hit the ground hard. Or what I thought was the ground. It sure wasn't as hard as I was expecting. Ugh. Huh? I collided with August on the way down. Whether he had meant to catch me or if he was just an unfortunate victim, I wasn't sure. My back. No! August, are you okay? He wasn't getting up. Did I kill him? Please tell me you're alright. I think I'm okay. Just... Ow. He was starting to get back up. I felt better, but still guilty. I'm so sorry. It's okay. Let's just not make falling out of trees a habit, alright? It really did look like he was okay, as he had gotten up and he was stretching his back out. Right. How about we get to camp before we have any more mishaps? I felt like I should probably say something after the tree incident. Alright. We started to make our way through the river. I struggled to get back across the river, while August seemed to have no trouble at all. To top it all off, I tripped getting out of the river. Do you feel up for walking? Yes. You can lean on me if you're not feeling well. I'm fine. He had crossed the river so easily, yet I had to fight tooth and nail to get to the other side. Whoops, that was slightly August. I felt so silly. I didn't deserve to be out here, pretending to be someone I really wasn't. Someone I could never hope to be. All of a sudden, I felt my eyes water. Oh boy, was I crying again? August had noticed. Meryl, are you okay? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? I'm fine. No, you're not. You're crying. Is everything alright? I don't want to go back. Please, August, please understand. Oh, Meryl, I can't. We need to go back to camp, and after that, you need to go home. Please! His pace slowed. He didn't say anything for a few moments. Why were you on the other shore, Meryl? Were you... I just looked away. My actions seem silly now, having been so obvious. Is there anything else you want to tell me? You seem awfully quiet. No, I'm fine. I just don't have anything to say to the man crushing my hopes and dreams, that's all. I must have hit my head pretty hard when I took a tumble in the river. Why was I saying such mean things to August? Blaming him wouldn't solve anything. Frustration welled up inside me, and I began to silently cry again. Meryl. He seemed shocked. You really won't be given another chance after this one? Most likely, no. We were almost back at camp. I was dreading it with everything in me. And suddenly August muttered something under his breath. I'll talk to Gregor about it. Huh? I agree with you. I don't think sending you back home is the best option. Does it have to be the treasure map? You're just looking for adventure, right? I guess, yeah. Well, there are less dangerous ways to have adventures than going out and following that treasure map of yours. How so? Well, we are going back to the capital. How about this? We take you back home, talk with your mom, and see if it's okay for you to be in the capital. I promise you, there's plenty of things to see and experience there. And it's less dangerous! But what about those guys who were staying in the tavern? Well, I mean, it's not completely safe. It's a city after all. But there's a lot of things to do and explore, and it's more than just going into random caves and almost being shanked by a thief, you know? Well, it was true. I didn't have an exact goal in mind when I first started out. Then again, I felt like finding that treasure map was a bit like fate. But fate was such a silly word. For another save. What August was suggesting was much more realistic, and as he said, much less dangerous. Yes, it wasn't the kind of adventure I had pictured originally, one in which I was finding hidden treasure and battling bandits, but it was what life was offering me. And I'd be a fool to turn this down and to chase silly ideas that were vague at best. Yeah, that sounds great! Good. Then, shall we head back to camp? I'm sure Gregor's worried sick about us. I couldn't help but think that Gregor was incapable of feeling worried about someone. You'd be wrong! Angry? Yes. Worried? Well, I wasn't too sure about that. I worry about everything. This boy gives me a heart attack. Sure! We began to walk back towards the camp, hope and the knowledge of a destination warm in my heart. And just where have the two of you been? Hi. We didn't leave camp for a while, as August and I got chewed out by Gregor. I wasn't sure what Gregor was really angry at. The fact that we didn't help him pack, the fact that I tried to run away, or most likely the combination of both. August turned to me and whispered, Don't worry, he's usually like this after getting up. Not really a morning person. Not really a morning person indeed.
Ugh, we don't have time for this. I need coffee. August, let's go.
Right.
And you, Missy.
It's Meryl.
Whatever. You. I need coffee. That's just not having this more running away business. You were lucky enough that wolf didn't eat you.
Okay. I was getting pretty sick of Gregor's lectures already. I wasn't sure how August put up with this guy all the time, teacher or not. I got in the back of the carriage, when it had become a familiar spot, and curled up into a ball in the hopes of drowning out Gregor's lectures to August that I knew I was about to start. I drifted off into a light sleep. Honk-chew. After a while, I woke up to find that my gut instinct had been correct. Gregor was loudly talking to August about something or other he had done wrong.
And don't go about just flinging your magic everywhere. Emergencies only, right?
Right.
And wolves are endangered species. Let's not try killing them next time around.
Right. Are wolves really endangered? Gregor and August looked back at me, apparently not having realized I was awake.
Duh, fuck.
Yeah, they are.
Meryl, we're in a bit of a conversation here. Just go the fuck back to sleep.
I know. Say, August, have you ever seen a wolf with red and yellow eyes?
Huh?
Well, I mean, that wolf back there had red and yellow eyes. I didn't even know they could have red eyes. So, I mean, if normal wolves are endangered, then they don't. Huh?
They don't normally have red eyes. That's what he just said.
Something was wrong. The two of them were looking at me with super serious looks on their faces.
Are you sure, Meryl? About that wolf having red and yellow eyes?
I thought for a moment. Yes?
And why didn't you mention this before, August? I hadn't noticed! Oh yes, you didn't notice that the fact that the wolf you're fighting wasn't even real! That doesn't matter now! The real question becomes, what are we supposed to do? Do they know we're here? Good question. What should we do now, August?
Huh? It seemed that Gregor had flipped the tables on August, putting him on the spot. A pop quiz of sorts.
Your little friend here seems to have gotten us into this predicament, and your attentiveness has led us further into whatever their plans may be. Now, August, what is our next plan of action?
August grew pale. I knew that look. It was the look of someone who hadn't studied, mentally cursing themselves for a mishap that could have been easily avoided. He glanced at me. I wasn't sure what they were talking about. Why was he looking for me to help? I only shrugged my shoulders.
Well, I mean, the first thing to do is to get out of here. They might know we're here now. Might. Okay, they know we're here now. And we should make a dash for reinforcements, so back to the capital? To the capital, you say? How far is that, August?
He started to count his fingers, doing mounting calculations.
It's about a 7-day journey if you ride hard through the night. And based on the fact that she was using her familiar, we'll assume that our enemy is at least a mile behind us and is using horses, riding at a speed of...
Oh boy, my brain was starting to hurt, not even in school! I always hated these kinds of questions. In fact, I always thought these questions were silly and unrealistic. But, well, apparently they did have some sort of real-life application, even though I personally didn't understand any of it.
So carry the 4.
Well, I've been lost in thought. August had calculated his answer. And that means
they'll catch us on the 5th day.
So they would catch us before we even reached the capital.
Right.
That's not good. Is it proper for us to get a message to the capital so they can meet us on the road? Let them know what's going on?
We could. But we have no carrier pigeons or other message-bearing animals.
So that's other questions. What else can we do then? Gregor crossed his arms then.
I don't know, August. What should we do?
I don't know. We could try to engage them and fight them off. I suppose that's one way of getting rid of them.
With her?
He pointed at me.
You think we could engage a fight and fight off the entirety of Noir's group with just 2, while also keeping her safe?
Noir?
Well, no, probably not. But what else can we do? Look at your map. You're on the right path, but you have some options that you haven't considered fully.
August looked at the map in his hands.
I don't understand. We have 5 days and we need reinforcements. Tell me, August, what on the map is in 5-day range of our current position?
I could see August thinking hard about Gregor's question.
Here, Meryl's village. Right.
Huh? Would they have enough reinforcements for us?
Not a whole lot, but they'll have some. Meryl, what's your village famous for?
Being boring? Judging by Gregor's face, that wasn't the right answer. I vaguely remembered that my town archers were pretty good. I guess we've got some archers.
Some? Your town is home of the best archer training program in the country.
Really? Gregor just sighed.
Oh!
August's face had lit up. That means we could easily fend off Noir and her cohorts. Range would give us such an advantage.
Right.
August began to ramble about what I thought was tactics. I think. He kept using big words and talking about formations. Whatever he was saying, Gregor seemed pretty happy.
So by keeping them at bay and preventing them from entering the town, we should be able to fend them off. Worst case, they keep up their attack, but we can endly send a message to the capital for reinforcements and wait for them to arrive. So we have our plan. Yeah! See? You can make great strategies as long as you slow down and think things over. Don't go with your first thing that jumps into your head. That's what the enemies are expecting you to do, and it's a sign of a bad leader.
Right. August seemed a lot happier than he did earlier, even though we were planning to go into battle. Wait.
Huh?
August and Gregor both looked at me. Battle? You mean like... Boom! People and bodies everywhere! Blood gushing from veins?
Yeah?
Oh, God! It just dawned on me. A battle. With real swords and knives and other scary things. When you think about adventure, any sort of danger you might encounter is more the mystical kind, like thieves and other petty villains. But here August was sending a full-out battle tactics, the kinds you'd see in war.
Don't worry, Meryl. I'll protect you. It's a knight's duty to help protect any innocent. Right, Gregor? Duty number 4 of the Royal Guard's mission statement. August? That was duty 12. Ah, well, same principle.
August laughed. They both seemed so carefree, despite what was facing them in the immediate future. Maybe that was their way with coping with a frightening situation.
90 to save. Click. Yep. Nice return.
I didn't know how they were able to do it. I was shaking in my boots, and I couldn't help but feel that their laughter was infectious.
So, let's go, Gregor. We need to pick up the pace, or won't be able to implement my strategy.
Gregor responded by whipping the horses into a faster trot. We were off, back towards my hometown. I hadn't thought it was possible, but somehow Gregor made those horses run even faster than before. We didn't stop at all for the next 2 nights. I wasn't sure how exactly Gregor and August were even still awake, but I soon got my answer. Gregor was seated with August, him looking sternly at the map in his hands, the younger boy holding the reins. They're pretty much zombies at this point.
We should be fine. There's been no sign of Noir or her gang.
That name again.
Or if they're out there, they're still keeping their distance. I know it's still a bit early, but you should probably start thinking about what exactly you're going to do when we get to Meryl's town. Who to talk to, what to say. I know we used to just let you think up of your speeches and arguments by yourself. But maybe for you, it might be better if we sat down beforehand and just planned what to expect. what to ask, how to answer, things like that. August, I'm awake.
I could hear Gregor let out a long sigh.
Don't start this again, August. We don't have time for this. Focus.
I think he's too tired. Once again, Gregor hadn't known I was awake. He just gave me a tired look. It looked like the journey was taking its toll on the both of them.
I know, Meryl. We're all tired. But we can't afford to...
All of a sudden, August started leaning dangerously forward. August! Gregor caught him by the back of his neck, just before he tumbled down and under the carriage's wheels.
Chew. All right, you can take a rest, August. I get it, but only for a short while. All right. Good night. Chew.
August half stumbled, half crawled to the back of the carriage. He picked up a blanket that I'd been using earlier and covered himself completely with it. A few minutes later, I can hear deep, sleepy breaths.
I hope I didn't push him too far.
I looked back up at Gregor, who had taken the reins. You alright, Gregor? Are you sure you don't need sleep? I don't want you falling off and getting yourself hurt. I was trying to be as nice as possible, but I felt really bad for them both. I was fully rested while the two of them were looking more and more like bed-raggled by the second.
It's alright. I got this.
I can take over if you want. I have to admit, I've never steered a carriage before. But I'm a quick learner. Okay, that was a lie. It usually took me twice as long as my classmates to learn new material. Though I didn't think that particular comment would improve my situation at the moment.
No, Meryl, it's fine. I've stayed up much longer than this and been no worse for wear. And he indicated the lumpy shape in the back of the carriage that was August's sleeping body. He should be able to do this as well. It's discipline, which he sadly lacks, among other things.
I was glad August was sleeping at the moment. That was kind of harsh.
I mean, who has ever heard of a knight that needs to get 8 hours of sleep a night? 8! Every night, too!
A normal human being?
Except knights don't have the good fortune to be like you normal civilians. You have to be ready. We have to be ready for anything at any moment. Ready to strike to protect, if need be.
August was certainly not the ready to strike position. Maybe more of a roll into you and make you slightly annoyed position.
Ugh, why am I even telling you all this?
'Cause you like me. With that, he turned back to face the road. I turned back to lay down, deciding to catch a few more minutes of sleep. It was no use. After about an hour, I was still wide awake. I opened my eyes and suddenly was face to face with a complete stranger. Who are you? The stranger quickly grabbed a red bandana near his leg and put it on. August!
Yeah, sorry. I thought you were asleep.
I felt pretty silly for not recognizing him. It was still clearly August. I was trying to, but I've been sleeping so much lately I couldn't go back to sleep. August looked at me with a weary expression. So, you look a lot different without your headband. I didn't even recognize you.
Oh, you didn't? Well, good. Actually, my bandana has a spell on it to help disguise my face. It's pretty helpful, to be honest. I get to sneak around without being recognized.
Who would recognize you if you need to put in disguise in the first place?
Hmm.
He closed his eyes. Looked like I wasn't going to get an answer out of him. I closed my eyes, too, since it was better than doing nothing else.
Who was I kidding?
Nope, still awake. Apparently August was too, so he kept tossing and turning. You okay, August?
Yeah, I just can't seem to sleep.
That was hard to believe, since he just about passed out earlier. Looked like he had been woken up. He couldn't in fact fall asleep.
I think it's nerves.
What are you nervous about?
Try everything. This coming battle, getting to protect you and the other civilians, making Gregor proud, make up for those failures of mine.
Right, he'd mentioned something about failing his own classes before. And something about someone being dead because of it. A shiver ran up my spine. Hopefully I wouldn't end up dead if August failed another one of his classes. Although I was enjoying the company I had, I couldn't help but wonder if I was cutting my own lifespan short by having August as a traveling partner, considering his record. The silence fell between us for a while, and I thought August had fallen back asleep when I had heard his soft voice.
Meryl,
Yeah?
what's your mom like?
What a random question. Why?
I was just wondering. Your mom just sounded really nice is all.
Yeah? As far as I know, she's not into young men like you.
What? No, I'm not trying to hit on her. It's just that I've always wondered what it'd be like to have a mom that caring, kind, there.
August.
Why am I even telling you this? Sorry, I don't mean to get so personal all of a sudden. Man, I need to work on my conversation skills.
August, did your mom... He avoided my gaze.
Yeah, she
Died?
ran away.
Huh?
She left when I was 8. She went off to go adventuring or something, leaving me, my dad, and my sister by ourselves at home.
I see. Adventurers weren't exactly known as the best parents.
And every year, only a stupid letter, "Happy birthday, son," with a present attached or something. Like I even care about getting a present! How about she actually come home for once? That would be an actual birthday present.
August? Although I was glad he was sharing all this information, it looked like he was really sore over the fact that his mom left. I couldn't help but feel that this was something I probably shouldn't know. Evidently, August was awake enough to catch on to my expression.
Oh, I did it again. Sorry. You can forget all that.
No, I mean, yeah, I'll forget it if you really want me to. But if it was important for you to get it out, I mean, it clearly pains you, right?
Yeah, but I have a really bad habit of oversharing. I have a hard enough time gauging what is socially appropriate when I'm fully awake. But when I'm like this...
He made vague hand gestures. I laughed. Yeah, but I think it's part of your charm.
I have charm? Other than my bandana?
I could feel my face reddening slightly. I mean, your personality. It's what makes you... you.
Yeah. Sometimes being me isn't the right thing to be.
What do you mean? He thought for a moment.
Think of it this way. You can't just go into a test and be yourself and do well. You have to study.
Yeah, but no matter how hard you study, you're still you. Doesn't matter how many dates and facts you know. It doesn't change who you are underneath it all.
And how does that help me? The piece of me that makes it harder to study for those tests.
Well, I guess it helps you make you different from everyone else.
And different isn't a good thing to be.
Except being the same as everyone else sure isn't all that great either.
It is when it means you don't get treated differently from everyone else.
Yeah, but... August clearly had a strong opinion on this matter. It's just that a hero can't be normal. They have to be bold and brave and... August shook his head.
So, does that make me a hero?
Of course. All knights are hero, aren't they?
Well, not all of them.
I glared at him.
Even a hero could get tired of being a hero every so often.
I thought about that for a moment. Something came to me. I smiled. Sure, but that's when they don their disguise and hide amongst the civilians. I motioned for him to give me his bandana, which he reluctantly gave me. I picked up his bandana and held up to my head. No one knows what they are, hiding in plain sight. But they're always there, ready to take on the bad guys if need be. August smiled at me. But no matter what disguise they don, there's always a part of them that's always there. That little piece of their heart that makes them them. And trying to cover up that piece too much or trying to change it will only hurt them in the long run. Or at least that's what I think. August looked down and thought. I guess what I'm trying to say is, try not to be so hard on yourself. Yeah, there might be things about ourselves that makes it harder for us to do what we want to do, but those pieces are kind of what make us us. They're our most precious part. August looked at me for a moment.
Do you always give life advice to people you just met like this?
I gulped. Well, it was sort of rude to assume that I knew what he was going through. No, not really. He just looked really down about it, that's all. He paused.
But, going off of what you said, does that mean I can't work on the faults I have?
Well, of course not. Sure, you can work on your faults, but it's also good to realize your strengths. Like, oh man, I did really bad on that test the other day, but then realized that, hey, I wrote that really cool paper that my teacher liked. It's stuff like that. But then again, it's easier to say this stuff than follow it. I couldn't help but think of back of my own year. A warm smile spread across August's face.
Thanks, Meryl.
He let out a relieved laugh.
You're right. I've been focusing on my own faults a lot lately, haven't I? It's because of those failed classes that I've only been thinking that way. So, focus on my strengths, huh?
An odd look came over his face just then.
It's been a while since I've thought about my own strengths.
The look on his face said it all. You don't even know your own strengths, do you?
Huh? Am I really that easy to read? I need to work on that.
He stopped in the middle of his sentence.
I'm doing it again.
Okay, my strengths. Now I'll get to that next time. I know I wanted to get to the end of the conversation, but this conversation is going on a long time. So next time we're going to talk about August's strengths. This is such a sweet scene. Like, I can really relate with it in a hardcore way. So, oh boo-boo August. August! So next time, strengths and more positive reinforcement. So have a good day, everybody. Bye!